She acts cold, texts slower, gives less, feels distant. And this is usually the moment she's already emotionally involved, not losing interest. But this is where most men mess up, because they read it backwards and start ruining everything without realizing it. When her behavior changes, you feel it immediately. Something dropped, something shifted, less warmth, less initiative, less engagement, and your instinct is to fix it, to bring it back to how it was before. And this is the moment everything starts going wrong. First mistake, you start pushing, not obviously, but in small ways. You double text. You send another message when she hasn't replied yet. You check if she saw it. You open the chat multiple times. You try to restart the conversation. What are you doing? Did you disappear? How's your day going? You introduce new topics just to keep it alive. You think you're keeping connection. She feels pressure because now you're not responding to her. You're reacting to the gap. And the more you try to fix it, the faster you lose her. Second mistake, you start overthinking. You reread messages, looking for the exact moment something changed. You analyze tone. Why was this reply shorter? Why didn't she ask anything back? Why did she take longer here? And now, before you send anything, you hesitate. You rewrite, you delete, you adjust, you remove parts so it sounds better. You think you're improving your message. She feels the loss of natural flow. You think you're being careful. She feels uncertainty. You think you're staying in control. She feels you're reacting. But this is the part no one notices. The shift already happened, not in the conversation, in you. Third mistake, you try to close the space. She pulls back. You move forward. She replies slower. You reply instantly. She gives less. You give more. She pauses. You fill it. You send something again just so the chat doesn't die. You think silence is bad, so you avoid it at all costs. You think you're saving the interaction. She feels crowded because now there is no space. And without space, nothing builds, nothing processes, nothing stays in her mind. And this changes everything. Here's the part most men never understand. When she starts feeling something real, she loses a bit of control. Before that, everything is easy, light, unstructured, no consequences. But when emotion appears, things become real. Now it matters. Now there is risk. Now there is something to lose. And instead of leaning in, she slows down. Not to leave, but to stabilize. To understand what she feels. To not get pulled in too fast. To not feel exposed. That's the shift. She pulls back not because she's losing interest, but because she feels it building. And this is where everything breaks. You feel distance. You assume loss. You react. You try to close the gap, fix the interaction, restore what was there. But you're reacting to the wrong problem. You think connection is dropping. She's actually processing it. There's another layer most men miss. When you were always there, she didn't have to think about you. You were already present. No gap, no contrast, no absence. And now, for the first time, there is space. And in that space, attention grows. She thinks about what changed, why it feels different, what you're doing. And instead of letting that build, you remove it. You fill the space again, and the process stops. So what should you do instead? You match her pace. If she replies in hours, you don't reply in seconds. If she gives less, you don't compensate with more. You don't double text. You don't send just checking messages. You don't ask random questions just to keep it alive. You let pauses exist, fully, without trying to fix them. You respond when she invests, but you don't over-initiate. You stay consistent without increasing effort. This is where the dynamic flips. You think you're losing control. But this is the only moment where you actually have it, because you're not reacting. You're stable. Attraction doesn't drop when she pulls away. It drops when you panic. Most men lose her in small reactions, not big mistakes. Extra message, extra effort, extra attempt to hold on. Each one feels small, but together they change how she feels. So when she acts cold, don't rush to fix it. Don't chase clarity. Don't try to bring it back. Because in many cases, this is the moment she's already more involved than before. And most men lose her not when she pulls away, but in how they react to it.